Fresh from a legal victory in Canada, a leading advocate for religious freedom is standing for the rights of parents who seek reparative therapy for their children. Peter LaBarbera, the president of Americans for Truth About Homosexuality, is opposing Illinois House Bill 217.
First of all, I was almost kicked out of Canada or not allowed in simply because Americans for Truth About Homosexuality and myself, we oppose homosexual behavior as sinful. So because of our Christian views on homosexuality, we almost were not allowed into Canada because Canada has an anti-hate speech law. But once we got in, I and Bill Watcott, who is a pro-family activist in Canada, were arrested simply for engaging in a peaceful pro-life and pro-family protest at the University of Regina in Saskatchewan. We were arrested on criminal mischief charges. I was put in jail for 1 day because I was already under suspicion because of the hate speech law. Ultimately, we went to trial and we were just exonerated by a judge in Canada.
Now, with your legal troubles in Canada pushed aside, you are stepping up your opposition to legislation in the Illinois General Assembly that would ban what gay activists call conversion therapy, but you and other like-minded folks refer to it as reparative therapy.
What this law in Illinois is attempting to do is replicate what's been done in California, New Jersey, and the District of Columbia, which would ban any parent or adult from taking a child 18 and under to a licensed mental health professional who wants to change their sexual orientation. It's very dangerous legislation. It's anti-freedom. We hope these laws will be struck down in court, but they must be resisted because this is a very big attack on people's freedom to act upon their biblical beliefs.
Well, the gay activists claim that this reparative therapy is actually dangerous because it causes kids to question their sexuality and then ultimately they could even commit suicide.
Well, the homosexual lobby is very good at focusing on selected cases where they say people have been harmed, and certainly some people have been harmed. There have been practices which I wouldn't even agree with, methods. But there are also many people who've been healed by reparative therapy. And so the homosexual lobby likes to focus on the failures. What other area of life would we focus on the failures as opposed to focusing on the successes? We don't focus on people who tried to overcome drug addiction and say, because some people cannot overcome or have not succeeded in overcoming, then that is impossible. Only in the homosexual arena do we focus on the failures as opposed to the people who found success and overcome their disordered feelings and orientations and this homosexual attractions through reparative therapy. The larger issue here is the homosexual lobby is attempting to ban people, to ban parents from taking their children who may or may not have been molested. Many homosexuals have been molested sexually. This legislation bans people from seeking help through reparative therapy, and that is fundamentally a violation of our constitutional liberty as Americans.
Could this legislation ultimately lead to pastors and youth directors being banned from speaking to kids about homosexuality?
Well, of course, once they get bans on mental health professionals not trying to change sexual orientation, the next step is church counselors. And a church counselor who may tell a young person, it is not in God's plan for your life to have a gay or a transgender identity. You can be helped through the gospel, through the Word of God, and also through counseling. Those people may be targeted.
How can this legislation that would ban reparative therapy be stopped in Illinois?
Illinois citizens need to contact their state representative and state senator and urge them to oppose all efforts to restrict our freedom to provide treatment and help to our children.
And the Capitol switchboard number is 217-782-2000, so call your state lawmaker and ask them to reject legislation that would ban reparative therapy. Peter LaBarbera, the president of Americans for Truth About Homosexuality. How can folks get in contact with you?
Yes, our website is Americans for Truth, all written out, americansfortruth.com. We have a weekly newsletter, and you can get in touch with the rest through that.
And a special thanks to Grace for Life Bible Church in Naperville for allowing us to record here. For IllinoisFamily.org News, I'm Monty Larrick.